Good day, everyone. Welcome. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me today. Today's recipe is straight out of my cookbook, page 39, the black bean soup. We are having a little bit of a cold snap yet again. And my neighbor, he hurt his knee, and I thought, well, you know what, it's just a really good time to put on something warm and nutritious and healthy. Without further ado, from Simply Homemade, Home at the Hollow, page 39, black bean soup. Enjoy. I'm going to start this soup with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Use whatever you have. If you have vegetable oil, that's totally fine too. I've got 2 stalks of celery I'm going to add to this. 2 carrot sticks. If you want these sliced, diced, however, whatever works for you. And a small, kind of white onion, sweet onion, whatever you have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute this probably 5 minutes or so until I can see the carrots and the celery start to loosen up a little bit, because the whole purpose of this particular soup is to be done once you start cooking it, done in less than a half an hour. There is a little bit of prep, but 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and we're going to add a little bit of garlic. So my timer's gone off. Here we go. I've got 2 minced cloves of garlic, and I'm going to give this a good 30 seconds, a minute, to get this garlic happening. I remember, just like it was yesterday, the first time I ever had black bean soup. I went with a friend to a health food store. I must have been all of, oh my goodness, 20. And there was a local health food store, and I went and I remember I had a carob protein shake, and they had like a small little kitchen, and they had black bean soup. And I had I had red beans, white beans, and all other kind of beans, lima beans, but not black beans. And I remember she served it to me, and she had grated lemon zest, which I had never had before either, and it was the most delicious thing. It was just wonderful, and it's a wonderful memory, and that's how I'm going to serve mine tonight, is with a little bit of lemon zest. If you have cilantro, fresh, whatever you have, that's okay too. I'm not a big cilantro fan, but so my garlic is good. I've got a combination of chili, cumin, and oregano. I'm going to give this a bit of a, I really wish that y'all could smell this. And I hope that y'all make it too, because this is going to be so good tonight. I'm going to be making some cornbread. And I'm actually going to be making cornbread today to have with this tonight, but then cornbread is going to serve another purpose tomorrow. And I will share that recipe with y'all later. And it doesn't have to be homemade cornbread. It can be just from a mix. That's totally fine. I've got 2.5 cups of chicken stock. If you want vegetable stock, that's totally fine. And I'm going to just bring this up to a good simmer and let this simmer probably maybe, 5 minutes. And my timer's off 5 minutes later. And you can see we are bubbling away. I have the remainder of the black beans out of the 3 cans. 1 can was in my processor, as y'all just saw. And I've got my black beans. I'm going to mix in. I'm going to turn it in just a wee bit to like a medium. And I've got I believe y'all can see, a can, I think 11 ounce, I'm sorry, I thought it was 8 point something, an 11 ounce can of the corn with red and green peppers. If you don't have that, and if you've got just corn and red and green peppers, then that's totally spot on too. And I'm going to give this a stir. Now I do have still just a little bit out of a 32 ounce container, and I always, you know, I like to stretch a pot of soup as much as I can. And I'm going to go back to my processor and bring this in here. So what I'm going to do to make this soup, you know, creamy, is I'm going to add, I believe it's a 14.5 can of petite diced tomatoes with their juice. Very simple if I can get it in there. I'm definitely going to be adding some of my black beans, as many as I can get in there. Out of 3 cans, I'm going to put this, that was a cup, maybe a cup and a half, and to give this a really nice, you know, kind of like a creamy, not really creamy, but, you know, just to give it a nice consistency to this soup. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to add this to the soup. I've got my processed tomatoes and black beans. Get that in there. See if I can keep from, I'm always going to make a mess. Y'all know. And it's, you know, it's not cooking unless you can make a bit of a mess. And just get the rest of this in here. So from this point on, look at this. I would allow this to simmer. Knowing me, you probably could have it on medium high for, you know, 20 minutes and it be cooked. I don't know. I kind of like for my soups to go low and slow and, you know, just to kind of build up the anticipation of having this. Oh my goodness, y'all. And I have a neighbor. I think y'all know my neighbor, Mo. Poor Mo. But I think he blew out his knee working or doing something yesterday. And then I saw him pull up like, you know, maybe half an hour ago. And I could, you know, it's not very often that you hear a car back here on this road at all. Like at all. But I heard his vehicle and I went to my breakfast room window and I looked out and I could see, as soon as he got out of his truck, I could see, you know, where he was just, you know, not even able to stand on his legs. So I'm going to take him a bowl of soup tonight. But you could probably, like I said, you could probably boil the stew out of this for the next 20 minutes and go ahead and eat. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to add the rest of this because I think we're going to have to, and there we go, just the whole thing. I think we're going to need a little extra stew tonight and cornbread for Mo, so he'll get better because, you know, I could be in the same position in the future. I could have some kind of issue, and I know that he would come and help me. So there we go. I'm gonna, like I said, this could be ready in 30 minutes. I'm gonna turn this down to 2. I've got low 2, 4, 6. I'm gonna turn this down to a 2 and just say I'm good for dinner tonight. Yay! But I'm gonna come back when I get ready to serve this up, and I hope that you join me then. I also wanted to add that, you know, if you need to be away from your home while you're making this for dinner. Certainly, when you get to this point, add it to your slow cooker, and you'll have just a glorious soup for dinner. So this came out, oh my goodness, this came out so nice. You can see the carrots and the corn, and oh, it just looks so delicious. I'm going to zest just a little bit of lemon on this. A little bit of salt and pepper, because I did taste it and it does need a little bit of salt and pepper. And there you go. Oh yes, very simple, healthy black bean soup. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me here home at the Hollow. Goodbye, y'all.